Casino Rama Grill Room. I'm Gareth Wheeler, and we got a lot of time for Olympic gold medalists on this program. Who doesn't really? But when you win 3 gold medals, you can pretty much take over the show and do whatever you want. So Hayley Wickenheiser, the floor is yours. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks, Gareth.
So what do you want to talk about today? It's pretty much your show, Hayley.
My show. Whatever you want.
Well, one thing we're definitely going to talk about on the show is the partnership between Cadbury and Right to Play, a program that you're supporting and that you're behind. But obviously, we got to go back a couple months, Hayley. This must have been a crazy time in your life, of course, culminating in your women's Canadian national team winning the gold medal in Vancouver. I know this might be a very vague question to ask, but what was that entire experience like for you?
It was a great experience. I mean, most people just saw the 2 weeks in Vancouver and us winning, but we actually spent 11 months together in Calgary, centralized full-time as a team, and played 60 games leading up to that point. So a lot of work and a lot of preparation behind the scenes, and so when you get to the Olympics, that's really the easy part of what we do and the part that most people are familiar with. So to be able to win on home soil in Canada, with the atmosphere that was in Vancouver this year, it was really a lot of fun.
But a lot of pressure on you ladies as well, and maybe you can speak a little bit to that.
Yeah, well, I think when you play hockey and you play in Canada, everybody expects you to win, whether you're male or female. And so the pressure we felt was no different than what the men were feeling. The expectation was a gold or nothing, and you grow up with that. You learn over the years how to deal with it. And I think it set us up well for Vancouver, maybe than some other sports that aren't so used to that type of expectation, that when we got there, being on home soil, competing in Canada, it wasn't so overwhelming.
A lot was made of your training regimen heading into the games. Of course, you played a lot of games, also against boys and men's teams. Do you really think that added to your competitive balance and made your team better heading into the tournament?
Yeah, I think we were the most prepared team in the world with the schedule we had. 60 games against midget AAA, Junior A, and women's international teams from around the world. We basically were on a pace for an NHL type schedule. 2, 3, sometimes 4 games in a week, travel, and everything involved. And really the goal of that was to raise the bar from even the Olympics in '06, because every time you go to a next 4-year cycle, the rest of the world's trying to knock you off. And so people look at it and think, it might have been an easy win, but it was far from that.
So you should hold up the medal and show the people at home what came out of this this Olympic Games. And Hayley, you had a fantastic tournament. I believe you had 11 points. This tournament compared to your other gold medal victories, is there any comparison there, or does it make it that much more special because it was on home soil, or does your first one really mean the most because, hey, it was your first gold medal?
Yeah, they're all different. I was saying today it's like having kids, you love each one, but they're all a little different. And that's how it felt. I mean, Salt Lake was so emotional. We had lost every game to the U.S., and we went in to the final and beat them in their home country. Then you had Torino, which was a different thing, where Sweden upset the U.S. We played them for the gold medal. And then you had Vancouver in Canada. The emotion and the attention, the feeling in Vancouver is something that I'll never experience, I don't think, again. So they're all different. It
was awesome watching from home, and we were behind you ladies as well. And that's why when this next story came out, we all scratched our head a little bit. A lot was made out of your celebration after winning the gold medal. I don't get why people made such a big deal about this. Do you understand, Hayley?
No, I really don't. And I think at the time I was in disbelief that it was even happening, because this is something that happened 2 hours after the game. The rink was empty. It was not out of a disrespect. Girls were just enjoying themselves, and I was actually the only player that didn't, I think, go out on the ice because I was in the media for such a long time. And I didn't even know that it had gone on until the media started talking about it. So, totally blown out of proportion. I don't think the IOC really handled it very well, and then it caused us to apologize, and Hockey Canada to apologize, and obviously it's not something you want to appear doing, but it's a tradition in our game, and I think if it would have happened on the men's side, you wouldn't have heard anything about it.
Yeah, for me, you guys having to apologize is completely insulting. I think it was unnecessary. It was a nice gesture nonetheless. And that last point there, maybe there was something sexist behind this, because if the guys did it, you probably wouldn't have heard anything at all.
Well, it felt like that to us. I mean, we saw John Montgomery in his win in skeleton earlier and walking down the streets with a pitcher of beer and celebrating, and I thought that was a great moment. It was something very innocent and pure about it, and you know, in the same way that with us and in the celebration, the tradition in hockey that you see even Stanley Cup wins where they had the champagne and the cigars and things like that. So it definitely felt like a double standard, and it's something, unfortunately, that you know, it took away because, you know, the next day after we won, there was a few of us that spent an entire day defending it.
It's unfortunate, and I know that the Canadian media were completely behind you and spoke out on your behalf, and maybe there was some bitterness coming from our neighbors south of the border, the fact that you beat them yet again in the Olympic gold medal game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where it all sort of stemmed from or how it worked out, but I think it went away very quickly, and it's actually turned into a rallying point for our team and for Canadians. Wherever I go, it's amazing how people want to talk about that and how they thought it was just fine and okay. So it was, I
gotta ask you though, how heated is the rivalry between you and the American women? I mean, there's been a lot of banter, a lot of stories behind the scenes that have gone back and forth. Is there some real, true competitive, I don't want to use the word hatred, but some competitive fire between these nations?
There is. There's no love lost. You know, it's changed over the years because some of our players play in NCAA schools, so you get to know these players, where it's club teams, and you know, as women hockey grows, you play with and against each other more often. But when it's Canada and the U.S., there's no friendships. You step on the ice, there's, you know, huge rivalries. There's stories behind the scenes that, you know, stories between players that, you know, on the ice that translate, and it becomes a lot of fun. Those are the games you want to play because it's intense.
Well, the story that's being told from the Canadian women in hockey has been a story of success, Hayley. And I want to talk about the future of women's hockey when we return right here inside the Casino Rama Grill Room.